Mongul Origins, one of the deadliest Superman villains intro. There are quite a few DC supervillains with an immensely high power quotient, and one such character is Mongul. Mongul had two versions.
To be the first of your race to die.
The one created by Len Wein and artist Jim Starlin debuted in the DC Comics Present Issue 27. November 1980, which was also during the Bronze Age of comic books. The second version was created by Jerry Ordway, who made its first appearance in The Adventures of Superman issue 454 as the Lord of Warworld. The character was later polished by Peter Tomasi and Scot in Showcase 95 issue 8, which was known to us as Mongul II. The character is approximately 8 feet tall and in several events has been challenging for many of the DC superheroes, even Superman. All thanks to the dense history of Mongul and his several appearances, it's still difficult to track every detail about the character.
Game over.
However, it's worth a shot, and in today's video, we will be exploring our powerful and fear-inducing supervillain, Mongul. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The history of this crooked character. Mongul was an extraterrestrial dictator that ruled Warworld and was a former Sinestro Corps member. Mongul ruled his people until a revolt pushed him into banishment. In his debut appearance, Mongul abducted Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Steve Lombard and threatened to murder them unless Superman handed him the key to Warworld. Mongul, the son of Mongul, a formidable foe of Superman, was the crown prince of Warworld Prime until his father passed away, at which time he took over as Mongul and ruler of Warworld. Albeit he claimed to have constructed Warworld, the fact was that Warworld Prime was considerably older than any Mongul, though Mongul would later construct at least one minor Warworld for himself. Mongul had at least 2 children throughout his lifetime. Mongul produced a son with an unknown female at some time, a boy who appeared to be uninterested in his father's dealings. He had at least one more son who resembled him and shared his passion for conquest. Mongul was nominated to be a member of the terrible Sinestro Corps, an organization that he later took over by having everyone greet him and renaming it the Mongul Corps, sparking an antagonism between the two. Mongul was eventually kicked out of the Corps. He finally arrived on Earth with ambitions to conquer it, but was beaten by its champions and forced to escape.
First I'll kill you and the bat, and then I'll take this.
Mongul was reinstated as the king of Warworld in the modern age, and he amused himself and his subjects with gladiator-styled sports. Mongul kidnaps Superman to make him engage in his gladiator games, but Superman joins forces with another fighter named Draga, forcing Mongul to flee. Cyborg Superman then compelled Mongul to serve him and convert Earth into another warworld. Coast City was devastated in the process of creating another warworld on Earth, which led to Hal Jordan assisting Superman and his friends in defeating Mongul. He was captured for his crimes and is being held in an interplanetary criminal prison, but he escaped during a riot. He plotted his vengeance on Green Lantern, only to discover that he was up against a new Lantern called Kyle Rayner rather than Jordan. Rayner beats Mongul and re-imprisons him. Mongul escapes from jail and is sent to a planet where he is saved. In gratitude, Mongul takes over the planet and the residents perish as a result of a virus, leaving Mongul as the planet's only occupant. He then discovers 2 alien kids that are resistant to the infection and grow up to become Mongul and Mongul II.
You have very quickly become far more trouble than you were ever worth, Jonah.
The first comic book appearance explored. When a holographic visage appears in the midst of Superman's living room, he is resting in his apartment. The invader introduces himself as Mongul and requests that Superman collect a certain item from his vessel via garbled transmission. When Superman responds that he is not his errand boy, Mongul retorts that he is not asking him, but commanding him. To gain Superman's help, he kidnaps and miniaturizes Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, and Steve Lombard, who are locked in a translucent energy cube. Superman refuses to accept it, but a short sweep of his supervision confirms that his 3 co-workers are not in Metropolis. Mongul believes that if Superman finds a crystal key hidden in a remote crypt, his pals will be delivered to him unharmed. If not, they will be returned in pieces. Superman decides to get the key since he sees no other alternative except to go along with Mongul for the time being. Mongul explains that it is concealed on the Cygnus system's 5th planet. Superman screams angrily that the fourth planet is New Mars, where Martian Manhunter now dwells, and he isn't shocked that Mongul is fully aware of it. Superman storms out to New Mars, pursued closely by Mongul's probe. He knows he can't allow Mongul to get that key no matter what he wants it for, but he'll have to play to his strengths until he can rescue his buddies. Martian Manhunter notices Superman's approach as he reaches his target. Superman searches the planet, which is devoid of life, save for a lonely and presumably unattended crypt. When John Jones comes to block Superman's path, he wonders why Mongul hasn't claimed the key himself. John cautions that the planet is off limits to everybody. Superman apologizes for intruding and says that all he wants to do is retrieve the crystal key and depart. John responds that the entire cosmos depends on it staying there. A violent warmongering species known as the Warzone lived here several centuries ago, destroying half of the known cosmos. At one point, the Warzone created Warworld, a massive mobile armed satellite outfitted with armaments capable of annihilating whole worlds. Regardless, the Warzone race inexplicably died before they could put Warworld to use. The artificial planetoid was later discovered by a benign race known as the Largus. Because they couldn't bring themselves to kill it for unexplained reasons, they reconfigured its defenses to prohibit anyone from stepping foot on the satellite. The crystal key is the sole means to breach Warworld's defenses, since its defensive systems are rendered useless by the key's sonic oscillations. The Largus, on the other hand, were a fading race. Thus, several millennia later, the last Largus delivered the key to the Martians before dying, and Martian Manhunter has promised to keep the key safe. Superman knows Jean's condition, but he insists on the key and that he is certain he can manage the problem. Jean disagrees with him and strikes him. Superman knocks him unconscious after a hard struggle. Superman enters the crypt and collects the key, unsure if he would be able to keep it safe. When he returns outdoors, Mongul is already waiting for him, his spaceship orbiting the Earth. He has brought the prison cube housing Superman's companions and demands the key as payment. Superman, on the other hand, refuses to hand the key over. Mongul tries to coerce him by gradually decreasing the cube, but Superman refuses. The Mongul's cube controls are smashed and the energy prison disintegrates, liberating Lois, Jimmy, and Steve. Mongul blames Superman despite the fact that Kal-El is as astonished as he is and blasts him away. Then Martian Manhunter, who had just shattered the cube's controls, reappears and rushes towards Mongul. Jean had previously prevented him from taking the key, and he plans to do so again. But Mongul shrugs both Martian Manhunter and Superman off and teleports off. Jean is enraged and scolds a deeply repentant Superman for being too arrogant and self-assured to listen. Jean then asks Superman what he plans to do about Mongul stealing the crystal key. First and foremost, Superman responds he will fly his buddies back to Earth. Then he plans to enlist assistance, track down Mongul, reclaim the key, or perish trying to get it. Just how powerful is Mongul? Mongul has higher physical strength than Silver Age Superman. In fact, Superman was only able to defeat him once in combat, whereas Mongul himself has often overpowered Superman. Mongul has also defeated Hal Jordan, Supergirl, and Martian Manhunter with only raw might, and is easily broken free from insertion, the universe's toughest substance. Mongul, the Elder, was practically impervious to all sorts of injury. Wonder Woman injured her own hands by hitting the Warlord in the face. Even Superman and Martian Manhunter's finest attempts were frequently thwarted, and Starman's most powerful blasts were regarded as fodder. Mongul has the ability to shoot energy blasts capable of startling Silver Age Superman from his eyes and hands. Mongul possessed just a limited amount of telepathy and telekinesis. He had the power to teleport, however, it was unclear if this was a natural talent or a result of technology until a confrontation with Superman and Starman ruined his outfit and he was able to escape by teleporting. Mongul was physically capable of engaging Superman in a battle and surviving. Mongul possessed an energy cannon within his chest from which he could launch powerful blast waves. Mongul possessed extraordinary physical strength, capable of facing both Superman and an energized Batman on equal footing. The former believed he can outmatch Darkseid in pure force, surviving a fight against Doomsday, combat many Sinestro Corpsmen, and defeat a strong new god. Mongul has demonstrated the ability to heal from severe physical injuries to an unknown extent, such as being dragged through the harsh metallic surface of the battle world, being impaled on a sword, and what appears to be far worse. Proven robust enough to withstand unfettered Kryptonians, Amazonian demigoddesses, a Yellow Lantern artillery assault and impalement on a new god's sword, Mongul still has the capacity to release energy from his chest dial, albeit it is no longer related to his biology, and he can also fire heat beams from his eyes. But far more frightening than his intelligence or physical stature was his utter and absolute disregard for life. He had little to no regard for the lives of other beings and would go to any length to achieve his aims, including killing whole worlds.
And the races have arrived. Let the games begin! So said!
Mongul Sr. was also a very bright and crafty antagonist capable of using others' hatred, wrath, or underlying hostility and bad feelings. Mongul has always been, and will always be a master of manipulation of conscious and subconscious minds. Capable of using absurd scare tactics to manipulate a populated planet's ruling authorities, people, or even national armies to his benefit. Despite being a cruel warlord, Mongul has a gentler side, and as a brilliant gardener, he has a heightened grasp of particular alien horticulture that he may utilize it to promote his own purposes.
The Black Mercy is a telepathic species. It reads the heart's desire and feeds the individual a totally convincing.
Going by the response to Darkseid's entry in Justice League Snyder Cut, there is no doubt about a successful live-action Mongul. DC villains are dark, and the grimness of these characters are balanced on its strength quotient and pure evil motives, in which Mongul qualifies for both of them. The character lacks a proper exploration and has a vast potential to entertain the DC fans. Mongul has featured in many DC Comic endorsed products like animated series, video games, action figures, trading cards, etc. We are all waiting to see Mongul in live action. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.
I really hate Superman!